Hey, Bridge. We haven't met for a while, and I gotta say, I'm missing you guys. I really do. I miss seeing you on Sunday mornings, on Wednesday nights, but it's just kind of the time we're living in. We gotta do the whole online thing. With that being said, I was thinking, boy, wouldn't it be nice if we could still do communion? Then I had the idea. Let's do some online communion. So this Sunday, I'm inviting each and every one of you that is watching online to participate in online communion. Now, in so doing, we're going to have a little preparation. So each of you guys are going to have to be prepared for Sunday when we do communion together. That being said, I want to run through a couple options, a couple ideas of what you could do and how you could do it. First off, I want to start out by saying we need to be safe. We need to have sanitizer. We need to have soap and water, whatever. We don't want to get salmonella or rickets or anything else. So always be safe with some sort of sanitizing agent. Secondly, you got to have your coffee. Anytime we do church, coffee is always good. Coffee in church goes together like a peanut butter and pickle sandwich, right? I think you'll all agree with that one. Now, when it comes to communion, there's certain things that we just have to have. They're called the elements, right? In church, we typically have grape juice and some sort of bread. You being home this time, you're going to have a few options, and that's a little bit what I want to talk to you today about. Before we get there, though, of course, you're going to need either a telephone to watch the service on or a computer, because without that, you're not really an online church, are you? It's always good to have the Bible, too. So when we do scriptural references, man, you should have that anyway. In this time, in this day and age, we should be opening this a lot. When it comes to communion itself, we do want to be prepared. And like I said, there's several different options. Now, when it comes to receptacles, in church, you'll typically see this size of cup. And they're usually plastic. We throw them away at the end of service. The biggest problem I see with these, even on a Sunday morning, is I just think, man, there's just not enough room in there. Sometimes I'm more thirsty than what this can hold. If you were to have something like this at home, feel free to use it. But like I said, there's always options. I found this in our house. So it's Amy's. I don't know exactly what she uses it for, but as you can see, you can get a little bit more juice in there if you so desire. As for me, I'm thinking this Sunday, I just might use a full glass. I mean, why not? Nobody's sitting there in church saying, boy, that person's a glutton. Look at how big their cup is. Man, your cup runneth over. If you want to use a giant glass, you go right ahead. Now, when it comes to the elements itself, like I said, we typically use some sort of bread type thing and then also some sort of juice type thing. So let's touch on that a little bit. You can just pull out the entire loaf of bread too. Bread is always a great option, and I mean, afterwards you could make yourself a grilled cheese, whatever. Just have some sort of bread type thing on hand. This happens to be French bread, but that's not your only option, not at all. Maybe you just have some tortillas. I mean, we're at a day and age, if you don't want to go to the grocery store, you just use what you got. I think biblically it's okay to use tortillas. Remember, these are just the elements. They're just symbols. There's nothing special about them. You like tortillas, use them. Maybe you're gluten-free. I could suggest a gluten-free type bread, or even a corn tortilla might work. But we got to be outside the box here. We also got crackers. A lot of people have crackers around. This is the Winco brand of crackers. No big deal. You don't have to bust the bank on them. But crackers are another thing. Maybe you're going to have soup later. So you could use crackers for your communion in the morning. Crackers with soup later. Another option we can always have would be these croutons. These happen to be cheese and garlic croutons. We use them for communion later in the day. Maybe you want a salad, fruits, vegetables, that kind of thing. Getting your vitamins and minerals in a time like this is still an important thing. So there's a few options for the bread segment of our communion. Just have something on hand. Now when it comes to the juice part, what are are we going to put in our cup? Actually, you know, I'm a classic kind of guy. I love the Welch's grape juice. I just like the way it tastes. I like the consistency. We don't typically use wine in the Assemblies of God, but I mean, if you have wine, it's in the morning, you know, be appropriate with it. I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to stick to my grape juice. That being said, maybe you don't have grape juice on hand. There's always great Powerade. Some of you guys are worried about hydration. You don't want to be dehydrated ever, especially in a time like this. So Powerade, Gatorade, grape flavor, great option as well. You know, I was thinking maybe you could just use grapes. If you just have a bunch of grapes around, you could either squeeze them up, or I think it's okay to just pop them in your mouth and bite them, and that kind of releases the juice. Again, fruits and vegetables, good for you. This communion thing, we're meeting with each other, we're talking about spiritual health, we can also talk about our physical health. So grapes are always an option as well. If you don't have any of that on hand, maybe you have grape Kool-Aid. You got kids around the house, you could fire up some grape Kool-Aid. Use it. Again, don't just use it in the time of communion. You could use it later in the day, a couple days later. I think Kool-Aid probably lasts several months in the refrigerator. Of course, there's also the option of grape soda. I'm not a big soda drinker, but I know some of you like the carbonation to it. This happens to be Shasta grape soda. Just another great option, right? Maybe some grape soda and some croutons, looking like communion to me. That being said as well, I don't even know that it has to be grape. Doesn't have to be grape juice. Here's a 3-apple blend of juice that you might consider using. So when we partake in an online communion this Sunday, the biggest thing is that we are doing it together. We're getting together. We can have a little bit of fun with it, but on Sunday we want to come together. We're going to learn about the Last Supper. We're going to learn about communion, why we're taking it. Though we are apart physically, we are together spiritually. So I think it's just going to be a great time, a great thing that we can come around each other and do, kind of keep some community. So we hope to see you here on Sunday morning. Pass this video around, encourage people to partake in it. Get your family ready, be prepared with everything that you might need. And I'm excited. I'm excited about the message. I'm excited about having communion with all my bridge friends, all the people of this church. So be blessed, stay safe, and have a great day.